I could take
The timekeeper's
but
servants
no.
approach.
You will perish.
You grow more pathetic every moment that passes.
Save and fail.
What's going on, guys? Boss Squirrel here with another Borderlands 4 video. Today I want to share Amon's strongest build, which is the heavy ordnance build. And all of you who has played every single Vault Hunter probably already knew that Amon is the weakest Vault Hunter in terms of using guns, but where he truly shines is going the heavy ordnance build. And personally, I'd say he is the strongest Vault Hunter as long as he goes the heavy ordnance build. He just melts bosses in less than 5 seconds. He clears an entire area of mobs with ease. The only downside though with this build is the terrible slow movement speed. And to all my viewers out there, you know that I really hate slow movement. It takes the fun away, but thankfully, Gearbox added this new mechanic where you can glide in the air while shooting, so it does kinda help. So if you're like me, who hates slow movement, you can just pretty much glide in the air just like what's currently shown on the video to cover up for the slow movement. And when bossing, it's not important. You pretty much just one-shot all bosses in the game anyways. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into the build. Okay, so now going first with the skill tree. We're going full blue tree here. We're not going to put points on the green or the red tree, just the blue. So first, we're going to put points on Scorched Kairos for more ordnance damage and magazine size. The magazine size also affects your heavy ordnance weapons because they are counted as guns, so that's pretty good. Next is Tail of the Comet. This skill is really important for the build. I'll explain that later on. As you can see, whenever Amon deals ordnance damage, there's a chance to apply a cryo status effect that deals cryo damage over time for a duration. And if I max it out, the dot damage is 60% of damage dealt, which is really high. And as you can see here, Tail of the Comet is affected by status effect application chance. I haven't done enough research about it, but I'm not sure if status effect application chance is different from status effect chance. Just like, for example, this one. Burning Ramparts. It says here fire rate and status effect chance. However, there is another passive here, Wrath of Nature. Amon gains increased status effect application chance and cryo effectiveness, so that's pretty good if I max it out. So the status effect application chance is 37.5 plus the cryo application chance from Tail of the Comet is 30%, so that's probably 67.5%, which is pretty good. Now next, we're gonna go down here. Icy Rage, it's a kill skill for more gun damage when mobbing, useless in bossing, but anyways, the reason why I put points here is we need to get Primal Surge. As you can see, whenever Amon applies a status effect to an enemy, there is a chance to partially restore his shield and ammo. You definitely want to max it out so that you won't run out of ammo on your heavy ordnance weapons and go on cooldown. Next is we're gonna put points here in Wildfire. This is not really important. The reason why I place points here is to get down here in Ballistic Bulwark. Amon gains Overshield when he deals ordnance damage. I really need the Overshield. I'll explain that later on the gear, as well as Primal Surge. So 5 points here. Next is Blackout. Ordnance damage has a chance to critically hit. Additionally, critical hits from direct ordnance damage applies shock. And if I max it out, The dot damage is 105% of damage dealt per second, which is really high. It's really, really good. Now next for the 9 points, I just place it here on Battleborn. Amon gains increased gun damage the more full his health. This effect is doubled while Amon is at maximum health. So it's pretty good. Now since we have a way to gain shield regeneration and overshield, however we have no lifesteal, I just place 3 points here for health regen and the thrill. And the remaining 1 point, I just place it here in Age of Ice. Amon deals increased damage to frozen enemies and bosses. It would be nice if we could max it out. Unfortunately, we have no enough skill points for more bossing potential. But anyways, that's a skill tree. Now, going back to the Tail of the Comet, the reason why this is important is the class mod we're using is the Icebringer class mod. As you can see here, we're getting 4 points on Tail of the Comet. So if you check the cryo effect, damage dot, that's 108% of damage dealt per second, which is really, really high. It's like plus the dot damage from Blackout, and that's the reason why we one-shot all bosses, because of this. And also, with Icebringer, I got a passive here that gives 30% status effect application chance. So that's 30 plus 45 here, more points on our class mod, plus 30% here. So that's more than 100% application chance. So that's really, really good. So your every shots will apply Tail of the Comet, which is really, really good. It's really insane. So yeah, that's the reason why we one-shot bosses. So it would be nice if you could get an Icebringer with 5 points on Tail of the Comet. That would be really insane. Mine has +4 on it. I'm completely satisfied with it. I'm really I'm good with it. The passives do not matter. Trust me, it do not matter. Just get as much points on Tail of the Comet as much as possible. And also the status effect application chance as a passive. Alright, and now the reason why I max Ballistic Bulwark and Primal Surge is because the shield we're using is the What's for Dinner. As you can see, when Energy Shield is active, chance to drop Overshield, and when Overshield is also active, grants plus 25% bonus shock damage. Also, we have an amp augment here. When energy shields are full, shots drain 35% of those shields for 150% gun damage, which really synergizes well with the Ordnance build, because we're taking advantage of these passives all the time because of Ballistic Bulwark and Primal Surge, which is really insane. And basically all your shots are amped, and yeah, that's it. For the weapons, it do not matter what weapons, but I'm not sure if when equipping the Hot Slugger, as you can see, Blazing Barrel on kill deal 30% damage for 10 seconds for a maximum of 3 stacks. I'm not sure if this works when using heavy ordnance weapons, but anyways, no big deal. Now next, for the rep kit, we're using a mini triple bypass with an amp augment. On use, grants increased damage of the next shot by 200%. And next, for the heavy ordnance weapons, pretty much you can use whatever heavy ordnance you like. It's up to you. But for me, for mobbing, I just basically use the disc jockey because it's really insane. It's like a Jacob's weapons. It ricochets all over enemies. You pretty much don't have to aim. Even when just shooting the ground, the discs will just ricochet off of enemies. You can also use bottled lightning if you'd like on mobbing. And for bossing, I pretty much just use the honey bunches because it's just so powerful with Amon. As you can see on the first part of the video, we just literally one shot every boss. And you can also use the monsoon, but yeah, it's kind of hassle. But I just go with the honey bunches because monsoon is only good for grounded bosses, but for flying bosses, not so much. So honey bunches is my go-to bossing weapon. So yeah. Now for the enhancement, they do not matter as long as you get gun damage on it, which also affects your heavy ordnance weapons. And for the firmware, we're using Gadget Ahoy for more ordnance damage, 2 points on Gadget Ahoy, 2 points on High Caliber for gun damage and projectile speed, 1 point on Get Throwing for more ordnance damage. And by the way, actually, you don't really need all these amps. Amp from the mini triple bypass or amp from What's for Dinner when doing bosses. Even the tankiest bosses, it's really well, it does help if you want to kill the boss as fast as possible, but you pretty much will still one shot all bosses in the game without your amps. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's just go to maybe the one of the gardens. Okay, so we're now here on the Ark of Radix. I'm going to remove my shield. I'm sorry, my rep kit and my shield to remove the amp. We're gonna lose some firmwares there. So I'm just going to shoot once just to make sure there are no amps on our shot. Alright. And we're not going to use any action skill. And I'll show you how powerful this build is with just Tail of the Comet and Blackout if this procs, which is nice. So yeah, let's go. Just make sure we're using honey bunches. That's pretty good. So just shoot one more time. And he's dead. As I've said, this build is really strong even without the amps or without the action skill. You'll still kill bosses. You won't be able to one-shot though, but still it's pretty fast. So I'll show it when we use all the amps. I'll just use all of them. Okay, round 2. We're gonna use amp here with the rep kit and the What's for Dinner, and we're gonna use our action skill and our forge skill for more damage.
Test your might!
Okay. And that easy. Alright. Okay, so now going back, as I've said, the What's for Dinner or the mini triple bypass isn't really important when dealing with bosses. You can pretty much just one shot or two shots most bosses. So yeah. Now, by the way, for the skill, we're going Scourge, Forge skill, Firewall. For the augment, we're using Cryonic Thrum, but it's not really important. For the capstone, we're not going to use anything because we need Firewall for this. Alright, now for the specializations, I put full spectrum arsenal. Now this, as you can see, ordnance damage now benefits from increases to gun damage. This actually is kind of double dipping with our heavy ordnance weapons because as I've said, heavy ordnance weapons are already counted as gun damage, plus we're getting another 50% from this spec, which is really good. I also put points on fragmentation payload for more ordnance critical hit chance and critical hit damage so that we can take advantage further of blackout. Next, in the zone, when aiming down sights, more gun damage and critical hit damage, and the best defense for damage dealt, based on the fullness of our shield or our health. All right, so that's it for the build. So if you guys find this guide helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, and hit that notification bell for more videos to come. And you guys have a good day. Bye bye.